Hey everybody, it's the Context Machine. Yay us! Episode number 698. I'm Bryan Jeff.
And I'm Jeff Gamet. And since apparently it's a thing until I just get tired of it, I'm looking at our episode number. Mm-hmm. Each digit in the episode number is divisible by a prime number, either 2 or 3.
So it is. Thank you.
Huh, there you go.
Yeah.
And if you add 2 and 3 together, you get another prime number, 5.
Oh, that's super.
Anyhow,
super specious. But that
you can check out all kinds of amazing things. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, you can check out all kinds of amazing things about us, except for this random stuff I'm doing with numbers. I have no idea where this came from. But the other stuff, contextmachine.io.
At least as long as that website lasts, you can also use contextmachine.io to reach out to us or find us on Mastodon at Context Machine or on Blue Sky at contextmachine.bluesky.social. You know where you can't find us?
I'm betting that unless someone else is posing as us, you can't find us on X.
That's right. The Nazi bar is not us.
Nope. Not going in there.
Nope.
Yeah. Hey, Bryan, on a fun and exciting note, we have a sponsor today. Yeah. Our sponsor is Framer.
Awesome. We're going to tell you more about them later in the show. And right. So today we have 2 pieces of Apple news, don't we? Or Apple.
We do, just like old times.
Is it news or is it more like rumors? Or is it more like officially unannounced plans?
It's like unannounced plans.
Okay, great.
That's the highbrow way of saying, hey, we're talking about rumors.
Fair enough. So the first one is going to be Apple supposedly integrating an AI chatbot directly into the operating systems of iPhone, iPad, and Mac, according to Bloomberg.
Yeah. Okay. So presumably this is part of the Gemini deal.
Yes. Well, I would assume that Apple wanted to. I don't think it came with the Gemini deal. I think Apple was pursuing the Gemini deal in part to do this.
Okay, that's a clearer way to say what I was going for.
Okay, great. Yay me.
Yeah. Thank you for translating for me.
Right. So go ahead.
So yeah, when the news came out, I was like, wait, so we're going to be typing and we're going to be chatting, doing the chatbot thing by typing. And, but no, it turns out that I was misinterpreting that. You'll be able to do the voice chat thing like we currently do with the S Lady.
Okay, so basically they're basically upgrading Siri here. That's the real news. They're upgrading Siri with a new back-end engine. And it will be I mean, I feel like Siri is already integrated with iPhone, iPad, and Mac.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks, Siri.
Yeah.
From your iPhone. That's great.
Yeah. So the big thing here is, yeah, you're right. That would make it the under the hood part is getting a big change.
Right. But this is being presented like Apple is adding something, and they're not adding anything.
Well, they're just potentially
changing. They're just changing, or possibly upgrading, depending on how you want to look at it. They're upgrading the way it works, but they're not adding anything, are they?
Well, they're adding a system that when you talk to it, it might actually do something.
Yeah, but that's upgrading it.
Yeah, you're right. And I am throwing a big bucket of snark out here because I will believe that the S Lady performs better when I see firsthand that it's happening.
That's fair.
And where we are right now with the chatbot, especially voice chatbot technology in general, even after all these years, it's still kind of a hot mess.
Right.
And it's very limited in what you can really do with it. And yes, I know people talk to their cars, to ChatGPT and stuff, and have these conversations. So yeah, we'll get that. But if it still can't turn on my lights reliably, I don't care.
Okay. I feel like Siri does turn on my lights reliably, but that's kind of beside the point.
Well, that's because it's you, Bryan, and it is all about you. The rest of us suffer so that your lights work.
That's fair. So the interesting thing to me is that you and I used to disparage the A-Lady, and really even Google Home too, for being like for us training ourselves to work with that, because they weren't those services weren't understanding us. They weren't trying to understand us. They were just responding. They were just pattern matching. And Apple was working on making the S Lady actually understand us. And you and I, we talked about that extensively over the years. And I feel like Apple is just like blown their lead. If they even actually had a lead, and I feel like they did. I don't understand how that happened and why that happened.
I wish I knew too, and I'm with you. I have been saying Apple has squandered their lead for a long time, and yes, they absolutely have. And the thing that we were both praising about the S Lady in the beginning, where it learned from you as opposed to you having to learn how to say the things it wanted.
It was learning to understand us. And that's what Apple told us. And I feel like they were working on that. Go ahead.
Yeah. But then eventually it was just like every other platform like this, where I had to start learning how to phrase things in the way that would get a response from the S Lady. So it didn't matter from that perspective which of the voice control systems I was using, because they were all working the same, which was relatively poorly, and I had to adapt to them instead of them adapting to me.
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, I hate having to eat my words or eat my attitude about the S Lady versus the other services. But the reality is that Apple has squandered its lead, and I often wonder how much of that could be laid at the feet of Apple's commitment to privacy. I mean, like how much are these other companies being rewarded for having exploited our privacy?
Well, they have been rewarded with if nothing else, reputation, meaning a better reputation than the S Lady, because they have been able to advance faster. However, look at some of the promises that Amazon made for the A-Lady earlier this year, and how many of those have actually played out.
Wait, earlier this year is in 2 weeks ago? Or
I'm sorry, I don't even know what year it is anymore. A year ago.
Okay,
sorry, a year ago.
I don't know what I don't really pay attention to what Amazon's doing.
Okay, so a lot of the stuff that Apple has talked about the S Lady being able to understand context and things that have been promised that haven't been delivered. Many of those things Amazon promised as well, and we still don't have those. We do have the new A-Lady platform that does integrate some of those features, but it is still not complete. And honestly, for me, the biggest thing that I have noticed as far as changes in the A-Lady platform is the new voice, which on one hand it does sound more human, but on the other hand, I wish there's a button to turn off the fracking vocal fry that's in the voice, and it's an intentional choice. So it's not like it's doing a weird artifacting.
Yeah,
I'm so not into vocal fry. But the point there is Amazon has made promises that they have not followed through on yet. Apple has been making promises, even commercials, about features that they didn't even have. So they certainly haven't been following through. I've become very cynical about this, and I'll get excited about it when I see it and when I see it work.
Okay, so to that end, Google's Gemini has been winning praises from praise, because praise can be. Praise is the plural of praise.
Of praise.
Yeah. So yay me. Can I? I'm just gonna take that out, and no one's even gonna know what an idiot I am.
I think that's a brilliant choice.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Gemini has been getting praise from people for the quality of its LLM, and I feel like Apple may have picked Google as their partner for this next phase. May have chosen them well.
Yeah. The hesitation you're hearing in my voice is because I've done the Lucy and Charlie Brown with a football thing too many times, or I'm Charlie Brown. But that said, I'm with you. I do think Apple made a wise choice for their partner for the whole AI chatbot feature for the S-Lady.
Yeah, and I do you remember when OpenAI said we didn't even want it.
They should have had ChatGPT write their response. It would have been better.
Right. Okay. So they're doing this thing, and yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. So I guess maybe we'll see this in action this fall.
Right. It does.
I say maybe because who knows if they can really get it out this fall with operating system version 27.
That's fair. I feel I don't know. I feel like they will. They may end up doing it poorly, but I feel like we'll definitely see it for 27.
They can't afford to do it poorly.
That's right. They can't. They cannot.
And yet they may very well.
Yeah. So shall I tell you about Framer?
I would love to hear about Framer.
I would love to tell you about him. So your marketing website sets the tone for your brand and is the one touch point every single one of your customers has. If you still struggle to make small changes and simple updates, you're leaving opportunity on the table. That's why so many companies from early stage startups to Fortune 500s are turning to Framer, the website builder that turns your .com from a formality into a tool for growth, helping businesses build better websites faster. Framer is a website builder that works like your team's favorite design tool, with real-time collaboration, a robust CMS, with everything you need for great SEO, and advanced analytics that include integrated A/B testing. Your designers and marketers are empowered to build and maximize your .com from day one. So learn how you can get more out of your .com from a Framer specialist, or get started building for free today at framer.com/TCM for 30% off a Framer Pro annual plan. That's framer.com/TCM for 30% off Framer.com/TCM. Rules and restrictions may apply, and we appreciate Framer for sponsoring this week's show.
Yeah, thank you, Framer.
Indeed. All right, so our other bit of Apple. The thing I think about is the robot, the tabletop robot, and I thought that was so ridiculous. And then someone said something about it that clicked in for me, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, whatever. We'll get to the actual rumor. So Apple is said to be working on a wearable pin, a wearable device that could offer multiple cameras. I'm quoting from Seeking Alpha, who was essentially re-reporting Bloomberg. The wearable device could offer multiple cameras, a speaker, microphones, and include wireless charging. The news outlet added, citing people with direct knowledge of the matter. So this is going to be Apple's version of Humane, right?
Yes. Yep. And for those of you that don't remember, Humane was the clunky pin that you could wear, shown off at CES, 2024,
yeah.
Shipped in April.
Yeah.
And then
canceled a few months later.
Yeah. Then by the end of the year, it was canceled. And within a couple months into 2025, HP had bought the company. And of course, never shipped anything. It just, Humane disappeared.
Right. And I remember us very specifically pooping on not just the form factor, but just the idea that anyone would want this. So how will we spin Apple's doing it?
Okay, first, we were absolutely right in our pooping. And here's how I spin this. Apple is absolutely working on a wearable pin that has cameras and microphones and all kinds of stuff on it. And it has a magnetic back, and the magnetic back has the battery in it. And so you can wear this thing on your lapel or your shirt, wherever. And it does, I don't know what. And I believe that this is also another one of Apple's projects that they're working on in their Skunkworks labs, like so many other products, where they're testing things out. And I don't expect this is a product Apple is actually going to release. I think that this is a test platform for other things that they're working on. And we may see features from this show up, say, in a future Apple Watch.
Well,
I don't think the pin is a product that's Apple's bringing to market.
I feel like this is probably the kind of story that has legs to it.
Well, it has legs to it in the fact that Apple's working on it. Doesn't mean they're ever going to bring it to market.
Right. But I feel like this is the kind of story that we see when Apple is probably going to release something.
Okay, so what's the use case for this?
I don't know. That is a good question. Because that was our problem with Humane, right? It's like, who wants this? Who needs this? Who would use this?
Well, I mean, the concept that Humane came up with, which didn't fit the reality of technology, was why should you have to take your phone out of your pocket to do all these things when you can just be hands-free and even have a keyboard projected onto your hand so you could one finger type with the other hand.
Apple's device won't be that kind of nonsense.
No, well, it's supposed to be the size of a AirTag.
Yeah.
So significantly smaller than the Humane pin. Okay, so
but I mean,
multiple cameras and microphones. That seems to fly in the face of Apple's stance of user privacy, because now you're wearing a tracking device and a recording device right out in the open.
Agreed. unless those. So I am not trying to rationalize this. Okay, that is not my purpose in saying this. Unless this camera is not to capture a field of view, but is instead to capture the things that are around you for interpretation or interpolation.
Oh, you just gave me a really interesting idea.
Okay.
What if this fits in with Apple's health and wellness objectives? And this is for people who have vision impairments, and the cameras are like LiDAR. And so with the cameras and the microphones, it's building a representation of everything that's around you, so that you can better navigate your environment.
I could see that.
I mean,
seems,
it's a total stretch.
That
But
seems like a pretty specific use case for Apple to have a product, though. That's
sure. But what if?
I mean,
this is
I like what you're saying.
Another accessory.
I like what you're saying from the standpoint of essentially explaining why Apple would be putting cameras on our shirts. You know, like coming up with a reason that doesn't smack of questions about
surveillance
privacy
state
and the corporate surveillance state. From that standpoint, I like this, but that seems like a really niche sort of use for Apple. Apple tends to not go so niche.
True. Okay. What if it's something you can use for health and fitness, but it also becomes an accessory that enhances your AR experience or your Apple Vision Pro experience in some way?
Well, that's interesting. So the idea of it being an AR companion for some kind of glasses, right? We've certainly talked about the so we talked about Apple Vision Pro and how this is a device that is heavy, it's big, it sits on your face, it basically occupies your face, occupies in the occupy kind
in
of
the literal sense.
In the literal sense, yes. And I think we've both gone on record as saying that some kind of AR glasses make a lot more sense for the longer term. So having a companion device for that could make sense, but that doesn't seem to me to be this kind of story, because this isn't a story about Apple glasses. This is a story about Apple doing humane, possibly in a better way.
Well, it's also possible that a lot of people are making the leap to humane because that's something that came out a couple years ago and tanked.
Mm-hmm.
And we are still at this point not even a year out from when HP bought the smoldering remains of humane.
Right. I find it difficult to come up with a use case for mounting cameras on my chest. Like, I mean, what could that possibly tell me that my eyes can't tell me?
Yeah, why
the hell would I want to be recording? I mean, like, all my friends and family and strangers. I mean, that's so rude.
Right. And I know people are going to interpret part of what I'm saying in a weird or creepy way. There's a lot that happens in my own house that I don't want recorded. See, I knew that's right where you would go. But
yeah, of course.
Yeah. Private conversations in my place. No one else except whoever I'm having the conversation with needs to have that.
Mm-hmm.
And
so if Apple is processing these images and recordings, or the captures, that's a better way of putting that. If Apple is processing and storing or not storing these captures on local devices that aren't being sent off to Apple servers or Google's Gemini servers, that would be one thing. Okay. I can.
No, it's still no. Yeah. No, all right, because you're still getting into intimate situations, and I'm not even talking about sexual situations for intimacy, just intimate conversations and interactions with family and friends. Now, if someone came in my place wearing a tracking recording device like that, a friend, I would have them take it off. It needs to go in a pocket. It needs to go away, and it needs to be turned off.
Yeah. That's fair. Okay, now I'm going to take this in a kind of dark direction. So,
okay,
what if Apple is looking ahead to where we need body cams for our own protection?
Oh my God. Okay, so my reaction,
like a dash cam.
Yeah, my reaction is because I could see that being a necessary thing for people, and it's fracking horrible.
Yep.
But yeah, I could see that being a thing.
I don't think that that's the case here, but that's what I'm thinking about. So other than your scenario of it being for health related and visually impaired related issues, which would be a grand and glorious thing, I think, if Apple were to come up with a tool that would help visually impaired folks, that would be truly a good thing. But other than that, I'm very hard pressed to think of why Apple thinks that I want to mount cameras and microphones on my chest.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is why I'm still, even after our discussion, leaning more towards Apple is developing stuff like this to see what they can do with it, and it won't see the light of day. Although things that they learn from what they're doing here may show up in other products.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I don't have that feeling about this product. I don't think this is. I don't even think this is TV, Apple TV related, like level stuff, like where Apple was working on a TV, but then they decided not to release it. I feel like this thing is coming out, and I don't know why.
Well, okay. You have in the past had pretty good Jedi instincts about things like this. So that tells me there's a good chance that this may actually come out. And when it does, when they announce it, I'm curious if I sit back and just go, like I'm trying to figure out why, or if they present this where it like really resonates with me and I'm thinking, okay, I get why people are going to buy this.
Right. I hear you. I hear you. And let's remember.
I just thought of something.
Go ahead.
I'm going to toss this out here because it's ridiculous. Okay, now I'm keying in on it's the same size as an AirTag. What if it is an AirTag that when it's you activated as lost or stolen, it can now give you like photo information about where it is. So you get visual and audio data about where it is. You can hear what people are saying. You can, never mind, because now that I say that, people are going to freak out and be like, no, it's going to get planted and people are going to use it to spy on me like they're already doing with their tags. And they'll be able to track me and spy. But there you go. Another idea.
Right. All right. Well, I don't think we solved this one today. We usually solve stuff.
We usually do.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that
just easy
we
peasy.
did not.
Yeah, it's true. All right. I'm going to say that. And that is this week's Apple Context Machine. If you have anything to comment on, add, or question, you can write us at contextmachinepodcast@gmail.com. Our bandwidth is provided by CacheFly. The bass is by Dr. Boom, recorded for this show.
Also, thank you, Framer, for being our sponsor today. Thanks.
Yes, we very much appreciate that. And I think that's it for this week, Jeff.
Cool.
Yeah, right? That's cool.
Yeah, go us.